Imagine standing right at the edge of this lush, mist-covered pasture down in New Zealand.
Oh, it sounds absolutely beautiful.
Right. The air is super crisp and it smells faintly of like wet earth and sweet clover.
Yeah.
But you look over the wooden fence and the cow standing there isn't black and white.
No, not at all.
She is this vibrant, bright, sunny yellow.
Like a literal banana.
Exactly. And the milk she's producing right now, it already tastes exactly like a perfectly ripe banana.
Which is just wild to think about.
Totally wild. No artificial syrups pumped in at some bottling plant, you know?
Right?
No flavored powders mixed in on a factory floor. Just pure, natural banana milk coming straight from the udder.
It sounds like pure magic.
It really does. So welcome to a very special deep dive, everyone. We are so glad you are here with us.
We really are.
Today, we are tearing apart the biology, the genetics, and the, honestly, extreme farm management of Waikikamukau dairy.
And yes, just for the record, for you listening at home, that is actually pronounced Waikikamukau.
Which is just the best name ever.
It really is a brilliant, like, almost cheeky name for an operation that is, quite frankly, totally reshaping the boundaries of agricultural science.
No, absolutely.
What they are doing out there in those rolling green hills challenges, pretty much every preconceived notion we hold about dairy production.
And mammalian biology, too.
Yeah, and flavor synthesis. It's just incredible.
So to guide you through this today, we aren't just looking at, like, a few viral photos on the internet.
No, we have a massive stack of source material sitting right here on the table.
We really do. We're pulling directly from the official Waikikamukau farm management reports, right?
Yep.
And several deep dive architectural diagrams of their milking parlors, which are fascinating.
Super fascinating. Plus, we have all these internal quality assurance memos.
Right, and we've got the latest issues of Pasteurized magazine.
Which, if you don't know, is basically the absolute gold standard journal for avant-garde dairy farmers.
The required reading, basically. So our mission today is to, like, really look past the whimsical aesthetic of it all.
Yeah, because the result, you know, a bottle of naturally green mint milk, it feels like it belongs in a children's book.
It totally does.
But the actual process required to achieve that result, it is a rigorous, super high-stakes masterclass in bioengineering.
And behavioral management.
Exactly.
So let's start with the visual that pulls everyone in, the herd itself.
Because you don't just have, like, one big group of cows randomly producing all these different flavors.
No, not at all. The genetic stratification at Waikikamukau is incredibly precise.
Yeah, the farm is divided into these very distinct color-coded herds.
Right, and each herd basically operates under a lead cow.
Like a matriarch.
Exactly, a matriarch who sets the behavioral and the biological baseline for her specific flavor profile.
And monitoring these lead cows gives farmer Glenn Delaney, he's the manager of the entire operation, it gives him real-time data.
Real-time data on the health and the output of that specific genetic line, right?
So, let's look at the sweet side of the spectrum first.
Yes, let's talk about the pink line.
The lead cow here is Strawberry Sue.
And I have to say, when the farm reports say pink, they don't mean like a subtle, washed-out sort of reddish color.
No, the photos in Pasteurize show her sporting this magnificent, unbelievably bright pink coat.
It's like bubblegum pink.
It really is, which is actually an external biological marker of her specialized metabolic processes.
Okay, break that down for us.
Well, the anthocyanins, those are the pigments found in the sweet berries she eats. They aren't just impacting the milk.
Right.
They are literally expressing in her hair follicles.
Which is just mind-blowing. And her temperament, it perfectly matches her output, doesn't it?
It really does. She produces the famous pink moo strawberry milk.
Pink moo, I love that.
And she is described in the farm profiles as being incredibly cheerful and sweet.
Yeah, there's a note right here about her grazing habits. It says she absolutely loves to graze near the flower beds.
Right at the edge of the paddock.
Yeah. She deliberately seeks out, like, the most aesthetically pleasing, fragrant parts of the pasture.
And that behavior is actually this fascinating evolutionary feedback loop.
How so?
By seeking out diverse, sweet-smelling flora, she is subconsciously supplementing her diet with specific, volatile organic compounds.
Wow.
Yeah, and those compounds actively enhance the strawberry ester profile in her milk.
So that's what gives the pink moo that signature fresh farm finish.
Exactly, rather than, a cloying artificial sweetness you'd get from a syrup.
Okay, so now compare Sue's sweetness to my absolute favorite matriarch on the farm.
Oh, I know who you're going to say.
Just purely based on her attitude, it has to be Banana Bessy.
She is iconic.
She really is. She is the lead for the Golden Pour banana milk line.
And her coat is this brilliant, incredibly sunny yellow.
But her personality, total chaos.
Pure chaos, yeah. The behavioral notes on Bessy are, well, they're quite amusing to read.
They really are. She is described as bright, bubbly, and highly eager.
Like, often the very first one pressing against the gate for the morning milking.
Eager, yes. But the internal memos from the farmhands paint a picture of a cheekiness that almost borders on vandalism.
Oh, absolutely.
It says here she has this recurring habit of flicking her tail into the wash buckets when the farmhands aren't looking.
Just to cause a giant splash.
Exactly. But they put up with it, you know?
Well, they have to. The golden pour milk she produces is incredibly creamy and mellow.
And it happens to be the absolute Farmgate champion for visitors.
It is. The higher starch content required to produce that banana flavor profile naturally results in a higher milk fat percentage.
Oh, so that's why it's so creamy.
Right. Bessy's milk is literally thicker, which explains that amazing mouthfeel.
Makes total sense. Now, if we move down the flavor spectrum to something completely different,
We find the green herd.
led by Minty May.
Minty May is just the absolute epitome of cool.
She really is. Her coat is this soft, refreshing, leafy green.
And she produces the Cool Moo mint milk.
And the farm profile uses one specific word to describe her, which I found hilarious.
Smug.
Smug, yes.
It's anthropomorphism, of course, but it accurately describes this state of extreme bovine tranquility.
She is very calm.
Very calm, extremely difficult to startle, and freely energy efficient.
She is so relaxed that she actually has a preferred soundtrack.
Oh, the jazz music.
Yes. I read this in Past Your Eyes and had to double check the citation to make sure it was real.
Oh, it's very real.
The farmhands literally play smooth jazz music for her.
They do.
She takes these long, glorious naps in the shade of the paddock, chewing her cud to the rhythm of a saxophone.
It's amazing.
And she produces this incredibly crisp, clean-tasting mint milk because of it.
Because that acoustic environment isn't just a quirky little thing, it's a vital part of her flavor management.
Right.
We'll get into the actual chemistry of stress a bit later, but for the mint flavor, which relies on very delicate, highly volatile menthol compounds.
Maintaining a low resting heart rate is critical.
Exactly. Finally, rounding out the core four, we have the quiet achiever of the dairy.
Choco Charlie.
Yes, Charlie has this dense, incredibly glossy chocolate brown coat.
She is the lead for the Midnight Milk line, right?
She is. And her profile describes her as steady, mysterious, and highly observant.
She just stands there taking absolutely everything in.
But behind that quiet demeanor is a very calculating mind.
Because she is a known escape artist.
Yeah, the incident report from last season details her successfully breaching her paddock fencing.
Which, in the context of Waikikamukau, isn't just a minor inconvenience.
Okay, it's an existential threat to the entire product line.
Exactly. A brown cow wandering into the yellow banana paddock isn't just a funny visual.
It's a full-scale agricultural emergency.
It is. But wait, okay, this is the perfect time to slam the brakes and ask the giant neon flashing question that I know you, listening right now, are shouting at your device.
The big how.
Yes! It is one thing to breed cows with unique coat colors. Genetics are wild, I get it. But how on earth does a grass-eating animal naturally produce milk that tastes like a dessert?
That is the crux of the entire operation.
Like, how does it actually work?
Well, to truly understand the how, we have to look away from the udder for a moment and actually look down at the soil.
Okay, the soil.
The secret begins with bespoke agronomy.
The diet. Because you can't just feed them standard ryegrass and expect chocolate milk to come out.
Precisely. Waikikamukau Dairy has engineered these incredibly specialized flavor paddocks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Strawberry Sue and the pink herd graze in the strawberry paddock, which is intensely cultivated with sweet berries.
Right.
And specific flowering legumes and high sugar grasses.
And the map we looked at of the banana plantation for the yellow herd is just amazing.
It's incredible.
It's not just like a few banana trees. It's a whole understory of broadleaf plants and specialized forage that mimics the exact carbohydrate profile of a ripening banana.
So you literally have yellow cows munching on bananas all day.
That is wild. Then you have the herb garden for the green herd.
Right. Yes, packed with fresh peppermint and spearmint,
And the cocoa grove for the brown herd.
where they graze on actual cocoa nibs and earthy, high tannin vegetation.
Okay, I track with the specialized diet. I get that.
Right.
But like, if I sit down and eat a massive bowl of strawberries, I don't suddenly start sweating strawberry juice.
Good point.
My stomach breaks it down into basic, flavorless nutrients. So how does a cow eating a banana turn her milk into banana milk?
This is where we really have to dive deep into the biological factory of the ruminant stomach,
Oh, okay, let's do it.
because the literature provided by the farm reveals a highly adapted, essentially pseudo-engineered digestive process.
Right. And as you listening probably know, cows have a 4-chambered stomach system.
Which is designed to break down incredibly tough plant cellulose.
Right, the rumen, the reticulum, the amosum, and the abomasum.
Exactly. So let's trace a bite of fresh mint from the herb garden through Minty May's system.
Okay, a bite of mint.
It starts in the rumen, which is essentially this massive 50-gallon biological fermentation vat.
But wait, let me push back here for a second.
Okay.
In a normal rumen, billions of microbes and bacteria attack the food, right?
Yes, they do.
They ferment all the sugars and starches into volatile fatty acids. So wouldn't that aggressive fermentation completely destroy the delicate menthol oils in the mint?
You would think so.
The flavor shouldn't even survive the first stomach.
And that is exactly the thermodynamic challenge the farm had to overcome.
Oh, really?
Yes. In a standard cow, the bacteria would absolutely obliterate the flavor compounds.
So what's different here?
Well, according to the pasteurized veterinary supplement, the flora inside the Waikikamukau cow herds has been carefully, selectively bred.
Selectively bred bacteria.
Exactly. When Minty May chews the mint, the specific bacteria in her rumen don't just digest the leaf.
What do?
They actually encapsulate the menthol essential oils within microscopic lipid spheres, liposomes.
Wait, so the flavor is literally wearing like a tiny suit of armor?
A biological shield of fat, yes.
That is unbelievable.
This liposomal encapsulation protects the volatile ester compounds from that harsh fermentation process.
Wow.
Now, the cow isn't done. She regurgitates a portion of this partially digested, encapsulated material, the cud back up into her mouth.
Ah, the endless chewing. I mean, a dairy cow can eat up to 60 kilograms of feed a day.
It's a massive amount.
And they spend hours just lying there, chewing their cud.
And that mechanical action is totally vital.
Why is that?
It further breaks down the fibrous material while simultaneously signaling the rumen to continue the encapsulation process.
Okay, so from the rumen, this whole slurry moves into the reticulum, right?
Yes, it does.
What happens there?
Think of the reticulum less like a passive filter and more like an espresso portafilter.
Oh, I love that analogy.
Its inner lining actually looks like a honeycomb.
Okay.
It physically packs the fibrous mint leaves into a dense puck and then forces the rumen fluids through it under intense pressure.
To extract the oils.
Exactly. To extract any remaining concentrated aromatic oils before setting the larger pieces back up for more chewing.
It's literally pressing the flavor out, just like making a coffee.
Exactly like that. Once the liquid is thoroughly infused and protected, it enters the omasum.
Stomach number 3.
Right. And the omasum acts as a powerful hydraulic press.
Wow.
It absorbs excess water and minerals, drastically concentrating that minty goodness. You're left with an incredibly dense, flavor-rich nutrient fluid.
Which then finally hits the abomasum, the 4th and final chamber.
Yes, the abomasum is the true stomach, which is highly acidic, very similar to our own human stomach.
Okay.
This is where the magic of that liposomal armor really pays off.
Because of the acid.
Yes. Because the flavor compounds are wrapped in fat, they survive the acid bath.
Oh, that is so clever.
The enzymes break everything else down, but these protected flavor packets pass directly across the intestinal wall into the cow's bloodstream.
No.
And they travel straight to the mammary glands in the udder.
Where they bind directly with the milk fat?
Exactly. So by the time it reaches the udder, the essence of the mint or the banana or the cocoa has completely bypassed the destructive parts of digestion.
And completely integrated into the milk itself.
It is a literal biological masterpiece.
That is just wow.
It is the absolute pinnacle of agricultural engineering. The farmers provide the raw botanical materials, But the cow's highly adapted biology executes the chemical synthesis naturally.
Okay, I want you to visualize this with me for a second.
Let's do it.
Let's take a pretend walking tour of the farm to see this in action. For you listening, close your eyes and picture this sensory environment.
It's a busy morning.
Very busy. The sun hasn't quite crested the horizon yet, and there is this quiet, cool mist rolling over the green hills of Waikikamukau.
And the auditory landscape is incredibly specific, too.
Yes, it is. You can hear the low, rhythmic humming of diesel tractors miles away.
The soft, resonant mooing of the different herds waking up in their respective paddocks.
And the heavy squelch of farmers walking briskly through the mud in their gumboots.
Oh, and carrying on the wind from the dairy shed, you can hear the musical, high-pitched clinking of clean glass bottles waiting on the conveyor belts.
It's just such a vibe. So we walk down this manicured dirt path and arrive at a heavy wooden viewing fence.
This is the designated perimeter for visitors.
Right. And leaning over this fence, the visual organization of the farm is staggering.
It really is. It's not just a field of randomly colorful cows.
No, look at their ears.
Ah, yes.
Every single cow is fitted with a specialized, color-coded ear tag.
A bright pink tag for Sue's herd, a green one for May's.
It's this massive, farm-wide visual coding system.
It's their first line of defense in inventory management.
And you also notice the actual infrastructure mirroring the genetics.
Look at the heavy steel gates on the paddocks.
Right. A brilliant yellow gate secures the banana plantation.
And a rich brown gate for the cocoa groves.
And if you look far off into the distance, right up against the milking shed, you can even see the color-coded hose racks.
Coils of pink, yellow, green, and brown high-pressure hoses. Everything is meticulously segregated.
But here's the thing about our pretend tour, right? We are standing behind this viewing fence.
Yes.
And it's quite a distance away from the actual cows. Why can't I just walk up and pet Minty May? She looks so incredibly soft.
Well, because doing so would trigger a biochemical cascade that could literally ruin an entire vat of milk.
Wait, really? Just from petting her?
Yes, it's a matter of managing cortisol.
The stress hormone.
Exactly. Cows are naturally inquisitive creatures,
Yeah.
but they are also prey animals.
Right, of course.
Which means they require a highly predictable, incredibly calm environment.
So if I run up to the fence...
If a crowd of strange humans approaches them, or, if there is a sudden loud noise, the cow's sympathetic nervous system activates immediately.
And cortisol just floods her bloodstream.
Exactly.
And how does that actually affect the milk?
Cortisol actively inhibits the smooth release of oxytocin, which is required for milk letdown.
Okay, so they produce less milk.
Yes, but worse than that, in the Waikikamukau herds, stress hormones literally alter the permeability of the blood-milk barrier in the udder.
What does that mean for the flavor?
If a cow is stressed, those delicate fat-encapsulated flavor compounds we talked about earlier, they begin to denature.
Oh, no.
The milk takes on this astringent, really bitter profile.
Wow. So a stressed out banana Bessy doesn't just give less milk, she gives bad milk.
Exactly.
I read an article in the archives called Reading the Rumen, and it outlined how the farmhands monitor this stress visually.
They look at the ears, right?
Yes. Droopy, relaxed ears mean the parasympathetic nervous system is in control.
The cow is happy.
The cow is happy, and the flavor factory is running optimally.
But if the ears are swiveling rapidly or pinned flat back against her head,
the cow is anxious, and her milk yield is immediately diverted from the prime vats.
They don't take any chances. So we stay behind the fence, not just out of politeness, but because maintaining that low-stress environment is a critical pillar of their quality assurance program.
Which brings us to the sheer, honestly terrifying logistics of their morning routine.
Oh, it's intense.
I have always marveled at dairy farmers. But the team here is operating on a completely different level of precision.
The margin for error is effectively zero.
Zero. The internal QA memos we have show the team is mobilized long before sunrise.
Way before.
By 6:15 a.m., they are already executing the first visual sweep of the paddocks.
They're out there verifying the color counts.
Making sure every single pink cow is behind a pink gate.
Because you have to consider the catastrophic compounding effect of a single mistake here.
Let's go back to Choco Charlie's Great Escape.
Right. If a single brown cow wanders into the yellow lane before that 6:15 a.m. check,
and her milk enters the banana line,
you haven't just lost one cow's milk.
Yeah.
You have contaminated an entire 5,000-liter holding vat with a hint of chocolate.
Which, I mean, let's be real, a chocolate banana milk swirl sounds absolutely incredible to drink.
Oh, it sounds delicious.
But it absolutely violates the core doctrine of the farm.
They have a specific phrase for it in their manuals.
Flavor integrity.
Yes. Flavor integrity is the prime directive.
And enforcing it requires an absolute engineering marvel inside the milking shed.
Because you have to ask, how do you pipe 4 distinct, highly flavored liquids through one central facility simultaneously?
Plumbing. It's insane.
It really is.
The flavor integrity system works on strict parallel pathways. First off, every cow has her own dedicated milking lane based on her color.
Right. Strawberry Sue literally never sets hoof on the same concrete path as Minty May.
Which prevents cross-contamination of feed dust from their coats or their hooves, right?
Exactly. And once the milking clusters are attached, the milk enters a closed-loop piping system.
And what is visually spectacular about this is that they utilize transparent, food-grade pneumatic tubes.
Wait, so you can actually see the milk traveling?
Yes, you can look up and see it.
That is so cool. It serves as real-time visual spectrometry for the farmers.
They can stand in the central control room and just watch the bright pink, yellow, green, and brown liquids racing through the overhead lines.
Like a massive liquid rainbow.
Exactly. It is an immediate, visceral confirmation that the right milk is in the right line.
But you're probably picturing these clear tubes as just a fun, Willy Wonka liquid rainbow.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing.
But think about the fluid dynamics involved here.
Oh, true.
Banana Bessy's milk, with its higher starch and fat content, is going to be way more viscous, thicker than Minty May's crisp mint milk.
Oh, right. I didn't even think about that.
So the flow rates, the pump pressure, the centrifugal force in the pipes, all of it has to be calibrated differently for each flavor.
Why? What happens if they don't?
To prevent cavitation in the pumps or sheer stress on the milk fat, which would completely ruin the texture of the milk.
Wow, so the pipes literally have different pressure settings.
Yes, they do.
The milk then pools into separate, massive, gleaming stainless steel holding vats.
A dedicated pink vat. A dedicated yellow vat.
But here's where I really have to push back again.
Okay, let's hear it.
Even with dedicated vats, they eventually have to use the same bottling manifolds or at least wash the system down, right?
Okay. They have a CIP system. Clean in place.
Right. The CIP system flushes the pipes daily. But if you're running heavy cocoa butter fats from the midnight milk through a line, a standard alkaline wash isn't going to strip that chocolate residue.
No, it wouldn't.
So how are they preventing the mint milk from tasting incredibly muddy the next morning?
That is a highly astute technical question. You are totally correct. A standard caustic soda flush would completely fail against those heavy cocoa lipids.
So what do they do?
Well, the pasteurized equipment diagrams show that Waikikamukau uses a multi-stage thermally variable enzymatic flush.
That sounds intense.
It is. They use specific commercial formulas. We actually saw the ads for them, like Mooma's Udder Wash and the Dairy Clean Tank Rinse.
Right, I remember seeing those.
But they stagger the temperatures.
How so?
First, they run a 90°C enzymatic scrub to completely break the lipid bonds.
Yeah.
That is followed by a rapid acidic rinse to neutralize the pH.
And then?
And finally, a chilled ozone water flush to eliminate literally any residual aromatic compounds.
It's like running a high-level biogenetics laboratory that just happens to be covered in mud and hay.
It really is.
And the man overseeing this entire high-stakes laboratory is Farmer Glenn Delaney.
Oh, Glenn. He is such a fascinating character study.
He really is. He's a veteran of the dairy industry for 25 years.
And he's the architectural mind behind the daily execution of all this magic.
The heart, the soul, and the mud-caked boots of the dairy.
We read a long-form interview with him, and I was so struck by his sheer pragmatism.
Same. You ask him about the secrets of the flavored milk, and he doesn't, put on a top hat and act like a magician.
He doesn't act like an alchemist at all. He completely demystifies the entire process.
His quote is iconic. He was asked how he manages the magic, and he just shrugged and said, "If the line says strawberry, it stays strawberry."
That's his secret. Relentless, boring consistency.
He absolutely refuses to over-intellectualize it.
When they asked him about the complex biology of the rumen, he simply attributes the flavor to the cows and the soil, noting that nature is just being cheeky.
Being cheeky, I love that. His true genius really lies in his observation skills, though.
Yes, his daily routine sounds exhausting, honestly.
He is up at the absolute crack of dawn, testing the viscosity and the temperature of the morning batches.
But he spends a massive portion of his day just standing at those viewing fences watching the herds.
Right. He monitors their breathing rates, watches them chew their cud.
He told the interviewer that if the rhythm of the herd's chewing is steady, He instantly knows the internal flavor factories are operating within parameters.
It requires immense patience.
And an encyclopedic knowledge of bovine behavior. He knows the baseline temperament of every single animal on that farm.
Which makes a certain secret we uncovered incredibly funny to me.
Oh, the favorite cow thing.
Yes. In a sidebar interview, a junior reporter asked Glenn which cow was his absolute favorite.
Now, as a farm manager, that's a total trap question.
Oh, for sure. You aren't supposed to play favorite.
It introduces bias into herd management.
Exactly. But off the record, which of course was immediately published, he admitted that his favorite is Choco Charlie.
The quiet, mysterious, brown escape artist.
Yes. And he told the reporter not to tell the rest of the herd.
That is amazing.
You really have to wonder if he just respects her quiet intelligence or if the man just really, really loves a cold glass of midnight milk after a 14-hour shift.
Well, given the intense richness of the cocoa profile Charlie produces, his preference is entirely justifiable.
I would probably pick her too, honestly. Okay, so the milk has cleared the biology of the cow, it has survived the clear pipes, passed the rigorous flavor integrity protocols, and received Glenn's official stamp of approval.
So what's next?
Let's take another pretend stroll, this time away from the industrial hum of the milking shed.
Okay, where are we going?
We walk down this lovely crushed gravel path, flanked by wild lavender, and step into the bustling Waikikamukau farm shop.
Ah, the retail frontier. This is where the product finally interfaces with the consumer.
The sensory shift is immediate. You walk in and it smells like fresh waffle cones, clean refrigeration, and sweet cream.
And visually, wooden shelves line all the walls, packed with rows of these brightly colored, perfectly chilled glass bottles.
It's picture perfect. And we actually found a transcript of a chat with the local shopkeeper who runs the front till.
Yes, and we learned something absolutely fascinating about the consumer psychology of flavored milk.
Right. Because there's a distinct bifurcation in market preference based on the actual point of sale.
Exactly.
If you ask the shopkeeper, what is the absolute favorite flavor, she actually has to ask you a clarifying question. Do you mean here or at the supermarket?
Because the data tells two completely different stories.
It really does. At the farm shop itself, the undisputed heavyweight champion is Banana Bessy's Golden Pour.
Which, logically, the psychology there makes perfect sense.
Why is that?
Well, people drive all the way out to the farm, they stand at the fence, they literally see cheeky Bessy flicking her tail in the sunshine.
Right. They feel that warm, vibrant agricultural vibe.
Exactly. And so they intrinsically crave that sunny banana milk. It is the experiential farm gate favorite.
However, when you analyze the broader retail distribution, like the local independent grocers and the regional supermarkets, the metric shifts dramatically.
It does. Out in the real world, Choco Charlie's brown bottle dominates the market.
It commands the highest repeat purchase rate across all demographics.
And it really speaks to palate fatigue.
Oh, that makes sense.
A thick, sunny banana milk is a fantastic novelty for a weekend farm trip, but the rich, complex, earthy notes of the cocoa flavor that Charlie produces.
That transitions seamlessly into a daily household staple.
Exactly. It becomes a routine comfort for people.
But if you are at the farm, the shopkeeper has a brilliant strategy to combat that palate fatigue.
They really do.
You don't have to commit to a massive 2-liter jug of strawberry milk just to try it.
No, they hand visitors these adorable little farm gate tasting bottles.
The volume of these bottles is highly calculated, isn't it?
Very calculated. They are exactly 180 milliliters.
180 milliliter. It's tiny.
It is the optimal volumetric threshold.
Which means what exactly?
It basically allows a visitor, particularly a child, to sample the pink strawberry, the yellow banana, the green mint, and the brown chocolate in one sitting.
Without getting totally sick.
Exactly, without overwhelming their gastric capacity or blowing out their flavor receptors.
It's just enough liquid to coat your tongue, make you say, wow, that really tastes like fresh mint, and leave you wanting slightly more.
Rather than giving you a massive dairy ache before the long bus ride home.
So smart. But here is where the farm's product line gets really, really interesting.
Oh, yes.
You have this perfect, naturally flavored liquid. What happens when you drop the temperature below freezing?
You enter the realm of their secondary, highly lucrative product line.
The Waikikamukau ice cream.
Oh my goodness. The magazine actually dedicated a massive 4-page centerfold to this entire process.
The headline was literally from udder to scoop.
Because the milk is already carrying the flavor compounds locked within its own fat globules, it possesses an insurmountable structural advantage over traditional factory-made ice cream.
Right. Think about how standard strawberry ice cream is normally made.
A factory takes plain white milk.
Then they dump in giant vats of strawberry syrup, artificial red dyes, and a mountain of refined sugar to force it to taste like fruit.
But at Waikikamukau, Strawberry Sue has already done all the heavy chemical lifting.
The flavor is literally grown into the milk.
Exactly. The flavor profile is completely molecularly integrated into the fat and protein matrix.
Which means the actual ice cream production process is remarkably minimalist?
It is, but it relies on completely exacting thermal control.
Right, because first, the milk must be pasteurized.
Yes.
Now, hold on a second. Pasteurization involves heating the milk to kill bacteria, right?
That is correct.
But earlier we talked about how incredibly delicate these volatile ester compounds are.
Yes, we did.
If you boil the banana milk, don't you flash off all the banana flavor straight into the atmosphere?
That is the exact thermodynamic tightrope they walk every day.
So how do they do it?
They do not boil it. They utilize high-temperature, short-time pasteurization, HTST.
HTST.
The flavored milk is heated to exactly 72 degrees Celsius for precisely 15 seconds.
That's so specific.
This thermal window is critical. It is hot enough and long enough to achieve a log reduction in harmful pathogens, making the milk completely safe to drink.
But it is fast enough that the lipid armor around the flavor compounds doesn't fully rupture.
Exactly. And then they slam the temperature down.
Instantaneously, right?
Yes. It is routed through a heat exchanger that crashes the temperature all the way down to 4 degrees Celsius.
Which locks the volatile compounds back into suspension.
Once it is safely chilled, they add a precise ratio of heavy cream to elevate the butterfat content to the optimal range for ice cream.
And then they pipe it into the massive stainless steel churning machines.
The churning is where the texture is born.
The paddles spin round and round, slowly folding the cream and the naturally flavored milk together.
But the objective of churning isn't just mixing, it is aeration.
Adding air.
Yes. The paddles fold microscopic pockets of air, which is known in the industry as overrun into the lipid matrix as it freezes.
Because without the air, you'd just have a giant, impenetrable block of pink ice.
Right, the air makes it fluffy and scoopable.
But because the flavor isn't a heavy, syrupy additive dragging the mixture down, the resulting ice cream is incredibly light on the palate.
The strawberry tastes like a real sun-warmed berry, not a candy wrapper.
It tastes authentic because it is an authentic biological product.
It is the ultimate downstream expression of their specialized agriculture.
Absolutely. But speaking of downstream impacts, we need to discuss the breaking news that is currently upending the farm's normally quiet routine.
Oh, the drama in the paddocks.
Stop the presses! There's absolute chaos in the paddocks this week.
A brand new arrival has the entire dairy industry talking.
A new calf has been successfully delivered.
And this isn't just a standard addition to a herd.
The paparazzi-style photos leaked and pasteurized are wild.
They really are.
It's this tiny, wobbly-legged little calf bounding around the spring grass, completely full of energy.
But the coat is causing a massive market panic.
Because it defies the established solid color genetics of the farm.
It is not solid pink or solid green.
The calf has deep marbled markings, visceral swirling patches of cool green and glossy chocolate brown.
Yeah, they've named him Cocoa Mint Max.
Which, from a branding perspective, the name is highly strategic.
Oh, completely. And the commercial reaction has been entirely unhinged.
The farm's switchboard is just lighting up nonstop.
Independent grocers, massive regional supermarkets, boutique local cafes, they're all calling Glenn, desperately trying to establish pre-order waiting lists.
And why? Because the market assumption is that if you have a calf with green and brown swirls, when Max grows up, he might naturally produce chalk mint swirl milk.
The consumer demand for a naturally marbled dual-flavor beverage is evidently astronomical right now.
Retailers are desperate to secure the first allocation of what they perceive to be a blockbuster new product line.
Which is objectively hilarious to me.
Right. These high-powered supermarket executives are engaging in aggressive supply chain negotiations over milk from a baby cow.
A baby cow that is currently just learning how to control its knees and is regularly bumping into fence posts.
Exactly. We had to know how the farm was handling this intense corporate pressure. Like, is this a secret new product launch?
Well, we reviewed Glenn Delaney's public statement on the matter, And it is a masterclass in managing corporate hysteria and staying grounded in biological reality.
He was so devastatingly calm about the whole thing.
His quote to the press is instantly iconic.
He literally stood at the viewing fence, looked at the reporters, and simply said, "A calf is not a launch plan."
It's a brilliant anchoring statement. He is outright refusing to let the agricultural timeline be dictated by supermarket quarterly earnings.
He explained the genetics to them like they were children.
He pointed out that Max's mum is Minty May, the lead of the Green Line.
Right.
And the sire is Coco Carlos, a prize brown bull from the chocolate line.
So through basic Mendelian inheritance, the baby exhibits both green and brown phenotypic traits.
It's just basic biology, not a marketing conspiracy.
Exactly. Glenn emphasized that their current protocol is strictly observational.
They are letting Cocomet Max grow up happy, healthy, and entirely unbothered by commercial expectations.
They're just watching him play, watching him learn to chew his cud, and monitoring his rumen development.
And they are adamantly refusing to make any grand promises about the feasibility of chocolate milk until Max reaches full maturity.
And they can actually analyze his biological output.
It's an incredibly respectful approach to animal husbandry.
It really is. But while Glenn is playing it super cool with the press, I am a total sucker for a good mystery.
I know you are. What did you find?
If you look very closely at some of the high-resolution photos taken inside the top-secret flavor shed,
Okay.
there are undeniable clues that the farm is actively experimenting behind the scenes.
Ah, you are referring to the background details in the feed room photo.
Yes, I spotted the clipboard.
A famous clipboard.
In the blurred background of a photo showing the feed silos, there is a clipboard hanging on the wall. And the heading at the top clearly says, "Flavors in Progress."
The farm's clandestine research and development department.
Exactly. And the items written on this list aren't just the standard bananas or mint leaves we've talked about.
No, the feed names suggest a radical shift in their agronomy.
The list literally reads, strawberry crunch, banana mash, mint pellets, and cocoa nibbles.
Which raises a profound biological question.
What's that?
Well, if the current diet of raw botanicals produces a smooth, consistent liquid milk, what happens to the viscosity and texture when you introduce a crunch or a mash into the primary feed?
Right. Could there be new textured milk flavors hiding in those R&D paddocks?
It's entirely possible.
Are they trying to manipulate the rumen to create a milk that naturally suspends little chocolate chips in the liquid?
Or a banana milk that is biologically thicker, expressing like a smoothie straight from the udder.
The morphological possibilities are basically blowing my mind right now.
It suggests that the science of the rumen, the specific enzymatic reactions and the way the omosum filters the fluid, can be genetically manipulated not just for flavor profiles, but for structural texture and consistency.
It's the next frontier of dairy science.
And they have to keep this research under absolute lock and key.
Why?
Because they're currently leading what the industry magazines are calling the flavor race.
Oh, the copycats are absolutely desperate.
In any lucrative industry, whenever one entity achieves an extraordinary breakthrough, the competitors will immediately attempt to reverse engineer and replicate it.
And industry observers note that conventional dairies all across New Zealand are furiously building brightly colored fences.
Which is just funny.
They are isolating their regular black and white Friesian cows and force-feeding them all sorts of weird botanical extracts to see if they can shortcut the process to flavored milk.
But according to all peer-reviewed reports and market analyses, 0 successful replicas have been confirmed.
No one has been able to pirate the Waikikamukau magic. Not a single farm.
Why do you think that is? Why can't a massive corporate farm just buy a ton of bananas and replicate Bessy's milk?
Well, there's an anonymous quote from a frustrated rival dairy executive that perfectly diagnoses their failure.
What did he say?
He said, "We've copied everything we can see. The challenge may be the things we can't."
Ooh, the things we can't see.
Exactly. They are trying to copy the aesthetic, not the biology.
Right. They don't have the specific mineral balance found in the deep soil at Waikikamukau.
They don't have the selectively bred liposomal bacteria in Minty May's rumen.
They don't have the generational genetic markers.
And honestly, they probably lack the exact level of calm, low cortisol management that Farmer Glenn brings to the milking shed every morning.
You cannot just paint a gate yellow and expect the cow behind it to naturally produce banana milk.
It is a holistic, microscopic ecosystem.
Every single element, from the specific pH of the water in Cowbell Creek to the barometric pressure of the morning mist, might play a cascading critical role in stabilizing the final flavor compound.
It really makes you hypothesize about where this technology goes next.
It does. If Waikikamukau is already successfully testing textured feed like banana mash,
Yeah.
what does the dairy farm of 2050 look like?
Will imaging technology advance to the point where we can put, like, a tiny pill-sized camera down a cow's esophagus, have her swallow it, and watch the exact biochemical moment on a screen where a grassy, minty snack is encapsulated into cool green milk inside the omasum?
From an agricultural science perspective, mapping that specific real-time enzymatic reaction would be the absolute holy grail.
It would allow for infinite flavor tuning.
Or let's push the genetics even further. If Cocoa Mint Max proves that a swirl is biologically possible.
Could there be a cow one day that utilizes 3 distinct stomachs to process 3 different feeds?
A cow that makes Neapolitan milk.
Pink, white, and brown streaming out all at once.
I mean, a single organism producing 3 distinct, unmixed streams of flavor simultaneously would require a fundamental, sci-fi level redesign of the bovine udder and the internal vascular routing.
True.
But given that we are currently discussing a naturally occurring high-fat banana milk produced by a bright yellow cow, it is academically dangerous to rule anything out.
Very true. So what does this all mean for us, the people pouring a glass of milk in the morning?
Let's zoom out and look at the sheer scale of the journey we've been on today.
It is a remarkable, unbroken chain of biological and mechanical custody.
We started out in the vibrant, color-coded paddocks, watching Strawberry Sue selectively graze on sweet berries to alter her anthocyanin levels.
While Banana Bessy caused chaos in the banana plantation.
We traveled deep into the dark, churning biology of the ruminant, exploring how the rumen, reticulum, omasum, and abomasum act as a biological armor.
Protecting delicate flavor esters from digestive acids.
We observed the terrifyingly strict daily logistics, the 6.15 AM visual sweeps to prevent cross-contamination.
And the rigorous flavor integrity protocols enforced by the fluid dynamics of the clear pneumatic pipes and the multi-stage thermal CIP washes.
We stood far behind the wooden viewing fence to ensure parasympathetic calm and keep the cow's ears droopy.
We met Farmer Glenn, the mud-caked maestro who treats biochemical miracles like an ordinary Tuesday shift.
And finally, we watched that scientifically perfected milk get safely pasteurized at exactly 72 degrees, turned into light, fluffy ice cream.
Or poured into an optimized 180 milliliter tasting bottle.
And the ultimate resonant takeaway here is that while this entire operation sounds like pure, whimsical magic, it is fundamentally a story about incredible microscopic care.
Absolutely.
It is about engineering a perfectly calm environment for complex animals, paying obsessive attention to the intersection of their diet, their genetics, and their stress levels.
And treating something truly extraordinary as just a normal, hard day's work on the farm.
The magic isn't a spell, the magic is in the management.
The magic is in the management. I absolutely love that.
It's the perfect way to sum it up.
It really is. And it leaves me with one final thought. A hypothetical challenge for you, listening right now.
Ooh, a challenge.
We've seen the biochemical gymnastics required when you feed a cow strawberries or mint or cocoa.
Right.
But if you had unlimited resources, your very own New Zealand farm, and you could plant absolutely anything in your custom flavor paddock for a genetically adapted cow to graze on.
What completely new, never-before-seen, wildly complex flavor of milk would you try to bioengineer?
That is a question that requires a potent mix of culinary brilliance and serious agricultural imagination.
I'm trying to think of mine right now.
Think about the possibilities next time you open the fridge and pour a boring standard white glass of milk. Until next time, stay curious.